My name is Aslan. I am from Syria, and I hate the war that is in Syria. I like the war to be end. Just I can go to see my friends and my family in Syria.
My name is Tujan Abaza. I came here because I want for my children to live in peace and to become Russian citizens.
My name is Ibrahim Munzir. I'm coming to Russia to live here because this is my homeland.
My name is Rana. I wish to come back to the lovely country when the war will end.
My name is Usama Haj Muhammad. I'm planning to stay in Russia to build new life in Russia here.
Until just a year ago, Osama would never have thought of leaving Damascus and building a new house in a small village in Adygea, a tiny republic in Russia's south and the land of his ancestors. When war broke out in the Caucasus 150 years ago, his grandfather and hundreds of thousands of Adygis were deported and sent to Turkey, Jordan, Syria and other countries in the Middle East. Now war has brought a twist of fate, compelling Osama to return to his ancestral home.
I have many alternatives. My brother is Canadian. I have the alternative to go to Canada. I have some other relatives in Jordan. But I prefer to come here because I believe that there is a big prospectus in the economic here. Maybe in the coming 20 years, not now.
Many Syrians like Osama came to this village in search of peace. They and other local people help him rebuild the house.
The people here in the village told me that this house is empty. Can you accept to live here? And I came and I said, okay, it's okay for me. This is not the end of the war.
Osama asked his wife to stay for a while with their children in a rented flat in town. He didn't want them to be put off by living in an unfinished house.
We call this in Syria fasulye, green fasulye. In Syria we like vegetables a lot. So we are trying to find vegetables here. It's freezing here, it's not fresh.
In Syria, Nancy had everything she could dream of. A villa on 2 floors with a nice-looking garden in a Damascus suburb. She looked after her 3 children and her husband had a lucrative business. But when bombs began to explode in front of their house, the couple had to throw it all to the wind and seek refuge where there were no gunshots to frighten the children.
This photo, it's my car garage.
Our neighbors sent it.
And this is my living room. Doors and glass or broke.
Some bomb didn't explosion.
This is my kitchen. Door broke, windows broke.
I will be very sad because this is the home we share our dreams, we make every step by step. The Syrian woman is a hero now. She's trying to protect her family, her home, her husband, her Syria and everything, and she's trying to under control about everything, and we don't have possibility to do that, but we are fighting to save everything. Every time we are talking about Syria, I told her, we also crying, all the time we are crying, because it's not easy for you to forget your Syria.
6 months ago, her husband Monza bought a small house in an Adygi village. He brought his parents to their ancestors' land in Russia. 3 months later, his elder brother came from Damascus with his wife and their 4 children. Now they have to eat their meals in shifts. The table isn't big enough to accommodate a family of 13.
You know, the war beginning not far from my house, and there is a shooting near in my house. I'm scared about child, about family. I must leave from there. My wife, dad and mom live in America. He want to go to dad and mom to visit, but America said no visa. But Russia, okay, no problem for me, for my child. I don't like live in America, no. People believe America maybe free land or peace land or something. For me, no, I don't think.
Who's doing this in Syria? Who's destroying Syria now? Not Syrians. We are believe 100% of that. No, the Syrian people are not doing this. I believe from all my heart that what's happening now, happening by foreign hands. Do we always believe that God maybe will give us better life because we are the Syrian, we are a good people. And we want to complete our life in Syria.
Miser feels like a boarder living in his younger sibling's house. Unlike his brother, he had no strong desire to go to the land of their ancestors. He and his wife, Rena, had become accustomed to their secular city life.
It's very bad to see what's happening there. I mean, people are just fighting and just killing each other. Nobody knows why. I left everything. I left my house, I left my car, I left my job, I left my friends, some family also still there. We left our whole life.
Monzer and Nancy's 9-year-old daughter Zen can speak neither Adygi nor Russian. She only knows Arabic, and neither her schoolmates nor her teachers can understand her.
Adaptation for her was more difficult than for the others. She had a hard time, kept to herself, and said nothing in either language. She would simply sit in silence.
Zen has to study with older children. They too came from Syria several months ago. The language barrier prevents them from learning a standard curriculum, and so a special classroom has been set aside for them. Now they're learning 2 languages at a time, from scratch. They'll need the Adygi tongue to preserve national culture and for everyday communication. Knowing Russian will help them achieve a higher education and find a good job in the future. Their parents speak Adygi because the older generation kept their mother tongue alive within the family. Younger parents, though, never suspected that their children would ever need to know their ancestral language until war broke out.
When my daughter came to the school, she told me that the school is big and I'm afraid from the school it's big and the people strangers. She's crying every night. She said, I don't want to go to school tomorrow.
Monzer owned a business in Syria, a logistics company dealing with international commodity deliveries. 3 months before the war began, he bought a small factory making construction blocks.
I need to study now Russian language. Now I don't have a choice. I have a choice only work like this work. No problem for me, I can work anything. I'm Adygea and here my homeland and I want to live in my homeland. I love Syria and live in Syria, but all time you have something in your inside. I'm not from here, you know.
Brides and grooms join in the Islamé, an Adygi folk dance. The young women's graceful movements symbolize modesty, submission, and the beauty of the Caucasus. The men's role is to demonstrate the people's strength and dignity.
We've been to all of the countries where the Adygi diaspora settled, Jordan, Syria and Turkey. They have mostly assimilated with the Arab and Turkish cultures. Our performances were a discovery. The dancers realized that they were really representing a great nation and a great culture.
Ten years ago, Abir visited Maykop from Syria. There was a folk culture festival taking place in the Adygi capital at the time. Since then, she has dreamed of performing folk songs on stage and forging a professional career as a singer. Because her singing ambitions had failed back home in Damascus, Abir had instead gone to university to study graphics.
When war broke out in Syria, we decided to move to Adygea. Russia was our choice. We had thought of going to the land of our ancestors before, but we weren't completely resolved to go until the very start of the war, before it could reach our home in Damascus.
The first time we knew about Abir was during a folk music festival. We knew her singing style and her voice. She had no special training, but when she said she wanted to join us, we weren't surprised. We were very glad to help her and to help her make a living.
Abir's husband is an economics graduate, but like most of the Syrian men who had to save their families from the horrors of war, here in Maykop, the only job he could find was as an odd job man working on a construction site.
We don't want to live in a village. We want to stay here because there are more job opportunities. I need to start studying again too.
As you see, I'm not professional, but I'm doing my best to help as I can. I am a professional accountant. I was working as finance manager in international organization for migration.
His wife and sons are staying in a Maykop flat. Usama pays the rent from the meager savings he could bring from Syria, but they'll last no longer than 6 months. They left behind a big house in Damascus, but he can't sell it as long as the war continues.
You know, I studied English literature. My husband studied economic. He knows English, French, Arabic, and actually it didn't benefit us what we learned and what we had worked, and because we don't or we lack the Russian language here. Ula, قول banana. قيمي لك عن سمك. Banana. قول. Grusha. Ula. Grusha. Oh. They offered a home, and we don't have to pay a rent, or it's for saving money for us. We will go there to see what we can do. Maybe in the agriculture field. I'm not ready. Usama is ready. I will help him. Yes, I will see what I can do. A few days ago, it was like a spring, almost summer. But today actually it was surprising, because when I looked from the window, I saw everything white and snowing, and wake up, snow, snow. I want for my children to live in peace, away from war. They will learn Russian, and they will go to school, they will go to university, and they will become Russian citizens. I think we will do too. It's a matter of time only.
Welcome to Tijuana. Here you can feel at home.
There are three choices in life. The first is to work in a maquiladora and live on a miserable wage, like a slave. The second is to jump the wall and catch the American dream. Most fail and lose their lives. The other choice is to become a member of an organization and get inside the drug trade.
It was something we will never forget.
I believe that if I paid for what I've done, I would never stop paying.
Download the official RT application to your cell phone, choose your language, stream quality, and enjoy your favorites from RT.
If you're away from your television, well, it just doesn't matter. Now with your mobile device, you can watch RT anytime, anywhere.
At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them. We will remember them.
International Airport in the very heart of Moscow.
My grandfather was among those driven from the country after the Caucasian War. Now we are returning. I'm happy, but also worried about what's happening in Syria. It's where I was born and where I have many close friends.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, ashhadu an la ilaha illallah.
Abdelmashar spent a lifetime working as a teacher in Syria. He was even a school principal. When he arrived 8 months ago, the local council of elders asked him to be an imam. In Arabic, imam means example to follow. They are entrusted with ensuring a spiritual education.
I have compiled an Arabic Adygi dictionary to preserve the culture and language of the Adygis.
He finished at the same time as the war in Syria started. That's why we weren't able to do more than 3 installments. He's helping Cherkessi people who want to learn the Adygi language and at the same time themselves know the Arabic language.
Imam Mashar's daughter, Abda Nafin, keeps their family relics safe. After 150 years, the family has returned to where they were made. Caucasian craftsmen produced all of these items by hand.
Everything we have is there. All of our houses are there. We didn't sell anything. We brought nothing except for them.
The biggest treasure they had to leave behind in Syria was several members of their large extended family. This 2-year-old girl's mother and father are still in Damascus.
My sister came with her daughter 3 months ago, but she had to go back to Syria because she has a job and her husband's family is there. She wants to help them come here. Her daughter is still with me. She's scared every time she hears loud noises. She probably thinks it's war. She's afraid. The noises scare her.
Little Sasanai's mother works in the Syrian section of the United Nations. Visas are not as easy to come by these days. Nobody knows how long they may have to wait. The couple only see their daughter by Skype. The line is usually dead by day, and by night the little girl is fast asleep. Now the toddler often calls Aunt Nafin and her husband Mummy and Daddy.
It's Barina. Barina. Every day she says Mother Barina. Barina Syria, or Surya in Arabic.
Barina, Surya, bye.
When she was in Syria, Nafin was a primary school teacher. Her mother and grandmother taught her how to embroider traditional Adygean ornaments when she was a child. Now, trying to make some money, she works as a seamstress.
I keep thinking about the people who are still there. I think about my relatives. Her mother and her father, they're still there. They're all still there. Very few people could come here.
My darling, my sweetie, how are you there? How are my sisters? Are they okay? I wish you good health. Allah welcomes them.
Rena, the older Ibrahim brother's wife, makes a point of calling her mother in Damascus every day. Today is a special occasion because it's Mother's Day in Syria.
In this day, usually we visit her. My sisters and my brother come to the home of the family and we sit all together. Yani nice day. If decision is for me, I never leave Syria. I live for my children. I prefer to die in Syria. My mom refused because she said also I have your sister, your brother in Syria. I can't live there alone. Children, when they play, you will die. They play
Free army.
Free army. You are in the normal.
They are playing the war.
There's a war in Syria. The two army are attacking themselves with weapons and everything. I want to go to Syria because I want to see my friends and my families and who I love and everyone. Because here I don't have a lot of friends like there.
When I visit the church, I want to make hope for my lovely country, Syria.
Yeah, she make a candle.
Yes.
She light a candle.
I wish to return Syria before it was.
As it was peaceful.
Yeah.
Starting from beginning, this is what makes me feel lost. I mean, it's not the place. The place I like very much. I like the area. I don't feel strange. I find a lot of people can speak at least my native language, if not English. And I already learned some Russian words also.
Russian? What kind of?
Balashoya Simia.
Maiza, the eldest Ibrahim brother, doesn't feel ready for a life in the countryside. He works on a construction site like his brother, Monza. His consulting experience in IT and telecommunications spans 20 years. But because he's unable to speak Russian, he can't find a job, not even in a big city like Krasnodar. That's why he travels to Dubai to make a living. Rena hopes that one day he'll take her and the children with him.
We have children must to learn, must to go to live good life as the usual in Syria.
Hello?
Alma.
Yeah. Bye.
بابا هلولي
باي
يلا علومة
علومة
تعالي هون
بابا
يلا باي
باي
You know, I like village because there is cute and you feel good. No busy, no problem in the traffic. I don't want to come back to Syria, you know. I want to stay here.
I think I will go back Syria. I will convince him to come back Syria. I still can't have great dreams here because my heart is still in Syria. Yes, in Syria I had my own car. It's like a car you can drive. It's really hard to drive in this car. We still don't have a good job to buying a good car like in Syria.
Actually, it's not my first time to see Nalma's performance. We already see it in Syria. When they come to Syria, we saw their performance there. We will miss it in the village. The road reminds me with the road between Damascus and Konaitra in the south of Syria. And Bariqa and Barajam, and they are under fire now.
This is the first time that Tujan has brought the children here to let them see their new home. They plan to move the family from town after a month or so, when the weather is warmer.
This is our room, and this is the children's room. This is the bathroom. And this is the entry. As you see, a lot of windows here. I don't know why. 4 windows.
We will consider this time, the coming 2 years maybe, like a time off from city life, from working at the offices. We will work with close to nature. Yes, we'll try this experience. We will see. Maybe we will adjust.
The toilet's gonna be here? Here?
كمان لسه أبعد.
And what's gonna be here?
ماما لا تدقروا.
Shut the door and don't touch anything there. Mama, why is there just a hole? That's how it's gonna be. Come here.
It's an opportunity to live in peace, away from noise, away from bombs, away from fighting.
Russia is a mega country. It's the biggest country in the world. But it is similar to Syria with its mosaic pieces of people, of religion, of minorities and majorities, and they are all living in peace. This is a big action in our life. So it is not easy to change it or to redo it in few years. I think this action, you can do it one in your life, and we are doing that.